Hi everyone, welcome to The Borrowed Book. Today we're interviewing Pamela S. Meyers, whose debut novel, Time for Love, just released. Pam, welcome. Tell us about your book.
I'd like to tell you about my book, Time for Love. When April Love signs on as an in-house chef at a lakeshore mansion in Canoga Lake, Wisconsin, she immediately comes face to face with her former fiancé, Mark Thorne, who is still as handsome as ever, and she is really stunned to see him there, but decides that she can be strong, not to be caught up in the magnetism. But it happens, and as much as she tries, she finds herself giving in to the pull. At the same time, their boss is found dead, and before long, Mark is framed for murder. And April knows he's not a killer, and she knows that if she doesn't help him find the real killer, her chance at love will likely end up in the jailhouse. At the same time, there is someone who does not want her to find the real killer, and they will go at any length to stop her.
Sounds fascinating, Pam. So what made you want to write this book?
I grew up in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, and there are many, many mansions on the lake that were built back in the late 1800s. The rich people from Chicago built them, and I was always curious to wonder what kind of secrets they might have behind their walls. When I decided to write Time for Love, instead of locating them in mansions in Lake Geneva, I decided to set it in a fictional town just east of there because as an author I could have more freedom with the fictional setting than I could if I put it in a real place. But I love romance and I love mystery, and I decided why not combine the two.
You love mystery, you love romance, but have you always wanted to be a writer?
I think that God gave me a DNA that said I have to write everything down. When I was 8, I asked for a diary, and my parents gave me one for Christmas, and this is it. I still have it, and I didn't write in it all the time growing up, but ever since then, every time that I felt something emotional happen in my life, I would write it down. And then as time went by and I started taking college courses, and I would take more and more writing classes until an instructor said to me one day, you could get paid for doing this. You're that good. And I was shocked. But that began my journey, and I started taking writing courses, going to writing conferences, and joined American Christian fiction writers and learned more about the craft and kept pursuing it. And then this past year, I was able to sell Time for Love, and that's my debut novel. And I am loving it. I am so blessed to have this gift of God to be able to share it with you and share His message through my stories.
Tell us what else you've written besides Time for Love.
I wrote a few before that one that sold, and I do have another one coming out this coming June from Summerside Press called Love Finds You in Lake Geneva, which is my hometown, as I said before, and I'm really excited for that to come out because I learned a lot about the area in 1933, which is when it is set. And I do have 2 other books coming out that are sequels to Time for Love, probably in the next year or so. So I'm really excited to write those stories as well.
Now share a little bit about your daily routine.
I am definitely a morning person. I am up before the birds a lot of mornings. I spend time with God, reading my Bible and praying, and then I get to work at my computer, writing my stories and getting them down, trying to get a certain number of words done every day. And then around noontime, I take a break and then do personal things, and then come back and may do other writing related things, promotional marketing things if that's what I have to be working on, or I do a lot of volunteer work for ACFW and I work on that. And by the time the day wraps up, it's supper time. So most days I'm at my home office working, short commute, and I love it, but it's all part of a writer's day.